Hello everyone. I would like to recreate these same earrings using different stones. The rondelle amazonite will be replaced with the silver freshwater pearls. And instead of the warm hues of the beautiful coral, I'll be using cooler tones like fuchsia and navy. So let's mix this together. For the mismatch earrings, I'm using rose gold filled ball stud. And if you notice that there are also chain involved, so this is the spool that I'm using. It's a drawn chain with measurement of 1.8 times 1.1 millimeters. I can link the supplier on the comment below if you're interested. I chose this chain style because it's dainty and sturdy at the same time. And for the wire wrap, I'm very loyal to my 28 gauge wire. You can easily replace by the 26 gauge if you want a sturdier wrap. Now for the tools, three pliers needed for this work. It's the round nose pliers, the cutters, and the pair of flat nose pliers. These are not new tools as you can see, but it works super well for me. Alright, let's observe the earrings before we dive into making those. I'm going to start from the ball chain. By just eyeballing it, this style, you know that there are three small beads linked using wire wrap, and the fourth one is the bigger stone following by the chain that is around 2 to 3 centimeter in length. So let's go ahead and take 4 centimeter of wire and using round nose pliers, fold 90 degrees in the middle. It should look like a number 7 written by the toddler. Or the L backwards, I guess. So now you have the top part that is perpendicular to the lower part, right? Shift your pliers up and fold the top part upwards and move it all the way down. It should take the shape of the pliers, which is round. And don't close the loop yet, but instead, we're going to thread in the ball stud. Okay, now this is the ball stud and I'm going to thread it in. Once it's done, now we can close the loop. With the help of flat nose pliers to hold, cross two wires and wrap the lower part using the top part of the wire. So the one that is lower, that is vertical, and the one that is perpendicular to it, and you just twist 2 to 3 times to close. And if there's a leftovers, we can just cut it off with the cutters. Now on the long wire, we can thread in the first bead and we will close the wrap using the same technique like before. I'm using the round nose plier to lock the beads completely tight. Fold the wire, shape number 7 or L backwards like I said earlier. Shift the pliers up and fold it upwards. Move it all the way down. And this time we will not thread in anything, but just close the loop by wrapping the leftover wire. Now let's make the second beads. I'm doing exactly the same thing. Instead of threading the ball stud, I'm threading the wrap that I just made earlier. And close really tight, 2 to 3 turns or 4. Depends on how long you want it to be. It's your style. I forgot to mention that I'm recycling every cut out, so don't worry if you see me putting the little snippets in the plastic bin. Alright, continuing with the wire wrap. I'm going to just let you watch the process here on the video. That is basically just a repetitive movement on the technique. We arrive on the fourth bead after the ball starts, which is the pearl. So here I am trying to choose two of the most identical freshwater pearls from the bunch. So I'm pulling the new wire here, same 28 gauge. I'm just eyeballing the length of the wire. Actually, you can use probably 5 centimeter, I guess. Okay, and I'm doing the same thing, uh, backwards L with the round nose pliers and move it upwards and loop it and thread in and close the wire and cut off the leftover with the cutters. And we're going to thread in the pearl. I like to keep the fatter side on the bottom. Now using the round nose pliers, you lock it in and make the same circular movement. Don't close it just yet because we're going to thread in the chain now. And once it's inside, of course, we're going to close the wire wrap using the same technique. Don't forget to wrap it really tight so the beads will not move around. Okay, I have my chain secure now. It's time for me to cut the chain. I would say it's around 2 to 3 centimeters. To make sure, I'm just going to copy the original design. Okay, I'm deciding on the cluster. Let's make one of the cluster. Now you want to fold the wire like this and thread in the beads. I'm using 3 mm Swarovski crystals for this work. If you want to make sure that those folds can hold the beads, and try it pushing it down. If it holds, then you're fine, but if it loose, then you have to fold some more. Make it thicker or make it a bigger loop. On one end, you will perform a simple link wrap that will be connected to this chain. It look like this. And once the chain is inside the loop, then you can close the wrap. And you can repeat the step until all the chosen beads are attached. I'll let you observe the process until it's complete. The video should provide a clear visual explanation for you. The first half of the earrings is done. Let's move on to the second half of the mismatch pair. For this one, we start off with the chain and then cluster, then a lined link that has the bigger stone in the middle. I've made this off cam that I linked the ball on the stud chain with one bead and wire wrap. Now, what I want to show you is how to make the cluster above the pearl. This time, we are going to use the 24 gauge wire. Cut 2 centimeter using a pair of round nose pliers. Fold the end like this and flatten it using flat nose pliers. Close together and insert the 3 millimeter beads and then insert the pin into the chain that is sitting just above the pearl. And put in one more of the beads and close the wire by folding it just like the first fold. So you might want to cut it so that it will fold really closely to the beads like this, and then actually when you fold it and crimp the both side of the wire, it should kind of lock the both beads so it will not be going back and forth too much. Okay, let's do it one more time. Cut out 2 centimeter, fold the wire using the round nose pliers and flatten it using the flat nose pliers and thread in one beads. It cannot be that big, the beads, huh? So maximum 4 millimeters. So you insert the stick or the pin inside the chain, and then you thread in another beads. And now I think the centimeter is perfect, so I don't have to cut anything. And fold it completely and flatten it. You might need to practice. In order to make it really tight, it can be tricky. But that's okay. Practice made perfect. So hey, I think I'm done here. Let's compare it with the original style. I'm so happy with the result. Really, I am. So I guess this is how the finished pair turned out. I'm going to zoom in the cluster above the pearl, just in case you need to see it close up. I love both pairs. The silver one is perfect for those with a cool undertone, while the Amazonite pair suits those with a warm undertone better. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll be packing one of these pairs to ship it to its new owner. Until next time, bye bye.